Good morning, MIS class. And just before I get into some comment on how we've performed over the last 2 weeks, remember this is not a general IT course. This is management information, and management information being more appropriate to a marketing course. So this is not the full picture of IT and IT management. And in the last module, we've spoken about software resources, and we specifically focused in on enterprise resource planning, customer relationship management, and supply chain management as being the software areas that we think we should focus on in a course of this nature. So we spoke about ERP, which is all about optimizing your processes and your workflow to create better efficiency. From a software perspective, it assumes that you have a lot of software in place already, and on top of that you bolt on an enterprise resource planning set of software which allows you then to identify where your inefficiencies might be. And it's also relevant to take into account here where in the life cycle your business is. So businesses have life cycles. They start out as entrepreneurial endeavors and they grow to full maturity. And there was a chap called Adizes who was I think he was a South American academic, and he did a lot of research on the life cycles of business and what interventions would be appropriate depending on where in the life cycle the business is. So it's also important that when using these different software tools, you take that into account. Now, clearly, if your business is very straightforward, optimizing the processes and spending a lot of money on software to optimize the process, probably not a good investment. But where your business is complex and where it has become complex due to maturity, perhaps overemphasis on administration, which typically happens during the life cycle of a business, then it becomes very, very important. And just think about the banks, the big insurance companies, particularly the insurance companies, which have become huge organizations, very complex in the way they work amongst the different departments in what is essentially a simple business. But the sheer size of these businesses means that the processes can become convoluted. Therefore, bolting on something across the top of your application software helps you understand where the inefficiencies might occur. And then we spoke about customer relationship management also as a software application that you can add to your existing applications in order to more efficiently deal with your customers and emphasize the relationship aspects with them. And also supply chain management to identify where in the supply chain you can achieve better results, more efficient processes. Now, I thought the discussion on the enterprise resource planning was perhaps richer than the discussion on CRM and SCM. And remember that this is a peer learning program. It's quite unique, and it's certainly the first time we've done this at Get Smarter, and there are not many of these worldwide. So it relies on where you lack knowledge, identifying the questions to ask. It also equally relies on there being other students in the course with you who are able to answer those questions. So we're providing you here with a framework whereby this interaction can take place and we can learn from each other. We're starting to do this, but we could do it a lot better. So remember these roles. You don't have to be an expert in these subjects to contribute. Part of your contribution is actually identifying what questions to ask. Looking ahead, Module 3, now we're going to move from software resources to hardware resources, and the two topics here are enterprise architecture, reliability and efficiency. So enterprise architecture management, as it relates to to hardware specifically, is understanding where your hardware is, what hardware you've got, and how to manage it. And we need to document that in a way that allows us to do impact assessment for change. We also need to do that in order to improve our reliability and efficiency. So we're going to talk about reliability and efficiency as well. Again, just to re-emphasize, identify what your questions are, where the gaps in your understanding of these subjects, where that might lie. Post these questions so that the students amongst you can in fact respond given their knowledge base. So good luck everybody, and I'm enjoying this this process of peer learning. It can be very, very rich if done correctly. It's up to you. Have a great week everybody. Bye bye.